Howdy ho, howdy ho. We are back. It is the Texas Porch, Texas Talk with a touch of spirits. And this is as instant as it gets. I'll tell you my full watching experience. The Diamondbacks beat the Rangers down by a 9-1 count for the finale of that little spurt at home. And he doesn't know it yet, but Joshua David doesn't have his gear on. We're going live. I started early, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. We have Josh. Just so happens that SOB Mitch, we give him one show. It's victorious, and you get back on the schedule. Mitch's contract demands got too high, and I think he ran out of whiskey. Diamondbacks 9 and Rangers 1. Hey, man.
How's it going? I thought you were going to at least wait till the game was over to get on.
Nah, nothing matters, man. Let's just go. Well, go ahead.
Actually, you texted. I had no idea what your viewing was tonight. You texted, "Is it over?" about 10 minutes ago, and I was texting back and forth to Doug with Doug at the time.
It's over.
I said, I told him no, but I really wanted to text you that said define over. So
yeah,
I had no idea where you were on it, but the fact that you were here before me, then I assume you got the gist of what happened.
Yeah, I skipped ahead a little bit. I knew kind of how the momentum of that one was going. Man, great job by the D-backs all the way around. And Merrill Kelly gets that win. Please like, share this episode, comment. We want to hear from you, invite you to contribute. It's kind of our pod. You didn't do it. You didn't pay anything, but we want to make it the audience's pod in the sense that we want you feeding back. It's your show too. We're going to grow this thing together. Subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like / a share. If you're an Astros fan and you are just gleeful in the misery of me right now, share this and others can delight in this misery as well. And I've got the Twitter X feed up as well. I'll check that from time to time. The more immediate way for you to contribute is getting on the book, Mr. Zuckerberg, and then the Musk, Mr. Twitter feed will be secondary option, but also on YouTube as well too. I can't remember who owns YouTube. Google does, but I don't know. We can figure that out later. Do you mind if I get dressed here?
As long as you're not putting on. Okay, I guess.
This is how I feel right now.
I thought you were about to put on that god-awful orange vest, and I was worried about that.
No. But... Do you have any of your comfort clothes that when you just want to curl up? It's supposed to freaking 86 degrees down here today. I don't know what it was up there. But what?
It is about 86.
What are we doing here, folks?
Just wait 2 days. Wait 2 days. You'll be good.
Yeah, supposed to get down a little bit. But anyway, I'll do the right formatics. Coming up tonight, I'll ask a few important questions that the public demands to know. Why do I have a green blanket on my head? Well, this is my comfort blanket to feel better. Why so many bananas? I want to know that coming up. Will the Rangers ever win again in this series and in their franchise history? We're going to delve deep into that. And true story, I'll give you the background. It's a weird sentence. I'll give you the background of this. A current Major League Baseball player told me today he missed my voice, and I had a long chat with a former Houston Texans quarterback.
And I know both these stories. I'm waiting for you to share them, but I was listening to the Rice broadcast today. They were much closer than the Rangers were today, I will say. So
yeah.
But I'm ready to hear all about that, and I'm guessing you're not just going to want to break this down pitch by pitch tonight. So
what gave you that idea? What gave you that great moment of enlightenment? But you did catch the pod yesterday. How did old Woodford Mitch, Tulsa Tulane Mitch do? What do you think, your buddy?
Well,
it is Mitch though, so I guess I know your opinions already.
I'll just have to give my opinions off air because I can't bash the podcast. like that and say exactly how awful Mitch makes the podcast. But
That's true.
it was.
Oh, y'all hate
I,
each other so much.
yeah, I was listening at about 2 o'clock in the morning when I was on the way home from the high school game, and I could feel the giddiness between y'all. Like at some point early, y'all were doing some kind of chant, and I was like, "Man, this isn't what happens whenever JP and I were on." So
That's our old. I don't know. That's just our chant. That's old Commerce High School basketball chants coming out. We've improvised over the year. Tonight it would sound like "Big Baby," like not very happy after this one tonight. So yeah, this is my comfort blanket, my comfort of sadness as the Rangers fall, and it is a series even at 1-1. We kind of knew this could come. We knew this could come. The other team practices too, as an old high school football coach told me. I don't think you got to see the depths of the game that we saw yesterday, but man, this Arizona team is, you look at it, you think neutrally about it. They're a fun team to watch, and they just got it going today. And the Rangers couldn't stop it. My initial thoughts, I had a bad feeling. You're the writer. I don't know if it's an omen or a feeling. I just had a bad kind of vibe. Remember some baseball juju in there that this is going 7 games. And that, but it's like Steve Nash said this when he was playing for the Mavericks, heck, 20, 15 years ago, whenever it was. This quote always stuck with me. When you win in the playoffs, you never think you're going to lose again. But when you lose, you never think you're going to win again. So that's the latter is how I feel right now. The Rangers fall 9-1. We'll break down some of the box score coming up in just a bit. No, we're not breaking down all 16 Diamondback hits. Sorry, Vicky Doug. We're definitely not doing that. Also, I'm famously known for my overreactions, so maybe I don't. Mother-in-law says, "Get a grip, get a grip." JP, always the next game, but yeah, I gotta wait 2 days, Betty Lou. I gotta wait too long for that, and I'm glad Mitch and I had yesterday's game to celebrate the Rangers' last win of the season. So at least we have that going for us, and you get to just smile there with your beard and your lighting in your Josh house and just laugh at us in misery. Admit it. Astros fans are happy. I dub you, your shoulder over here. I dub you chief of the Astros kingdom. If I can knight you, Astros fans are happy with this, aren't they?
I will tell you because I was transparent about this from the start. I'm not going for the Rangers. I'm going for JP.
That's
Like I would love for you to win a World Series title while you were a Diamondbacks fan, if possible. But no, Astros fans are loving it. But at the same time, like you're totally right about your Steve Nash comment there about how when you lose in the playoffs, you're never going to win again. When you win, you're never going to lose again. Because I'll tell you, last year I'm the veteran here when it comes to World Series game watching. So you definitely have to listen to my advice here. After Game 3 last year, the Phillies absolutely destroyed the Astros in Game 3 in Philadelphia
right.
with that crazy environment where they were the unstoppable team. And my sister texted me that next morning and said, "Man, I don't think they can win there." And then, you know, 12 hours later, the Astros threw a no hitter. They didn't lose again. They won the World Series. So no, I get it. We'll break down like the particulars of this, but I get where you're coming from. Of you, it seems awfully dark at the time, but at the same time, it's one game. It's 1-1. Um, I know you expected a longer series. We both picked Rangers in 6 until I had to change because we didn't want to agree. So, but no, I get where you're coming from. And tonight looked really, 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 really bad on the Rangers' part. And there's a whole bunch of red flags that are coming up with it, but at the same time, it is still just one game.
Uno. Solamente uno. Yeah, you're correct on that. I'll break it down in a bit. Here's some other initial thoughts I had. Thank you for your feedback. And anybody who wants to fire off a comment, Facebook, the YouTubes, Twitter, I check that periodically as well too. So I'll probably put my foot in the mouth. That's what also I'm known for with my overreactions. And God love them. If this is like a Make-A-Wish thing, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to say. Okay, but JP Moment Brewing. I don't think Mitch is live as he was at the in-laws in Forney watching this one. But can we move the Banana Kids from behind home plate? And I can't stand, in general, I can't stand those suites. But when you have, what's the correct term? 3 spoiled, entitled twerps back there in bleeping banana suits. This is lack of sleep JP coming in after a tough day at the day job. What are we even doing here? I don't even have my right sound effect here. What the are we doing here? Where we've got 3 kids, I won't even add the adjective I want to say in there. Their banana suits all dancing back and forth and going up and down. And, oh, look at me. I'm on TV. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Todd. So they are Make-A-Wish kids. Vicky Doug saying, look at me. Hey, Tim. I got a phone. I'm 7 years old. Look at me. Man. Can you move the kids? And then later I notice, because I had to fast forward a little bit, I was like, oh, let's get this beating over with. I got a pod to do. Feels cathartic, sports therapy to talk about, but then I don't see them. So not only are they twerps at a game, not only do they have their banana suits, but then they don't even stay for the whole thing. But then Mrs. the Texas Porch said they could be, like they were at the Astros series, so they're Rangers fans. But I guess they'd be Rangers fans, but during the Astros series, they were doing the same thing. It's just, I don't know why I noticed them for the first time. Help me out, Josh. Save my career here as I talk about Banana Kids.
I don't know the story. I did see that Evan Grant had done a story on them after or during the Astros game.
Great. Tell me.
No, I didn't read it. Like, I don't think there's some Make-A-Wish. I think it's just somebody can afford the tickets because there was only one that was there, or maybe there was more than one. But the one, they were there for game 5 because I wasn't watching at the time. I went back and watched, and there was a whole bunch of Astros Twitter that was just making fun of the Banana Kid because he was there while Altuve hit the home run. And so tonight there were 3 of them, and I'll tell you, like, just so you're not, just so we can go down on the same boat, so we can both go down on the Titanic if they are Make-A-Wish kids or if there's a problem. I was making fun of them to my kids tonight. Like, I sent Sierra and Spring a message saying, "Who y'all go to the game with tonight for that?" So it was, I don't know. It speaks for how the game went that we're going to dedicate 5 minutes on a 30-minute podcast.
Yeah,
to the Banana Kids, but they were there late. Like, I texted them, and well, I don't know, maybe it was.
You texted the Banana Kids. You can't get them on.
No, I texted my kids.
Okay.
That's when I texted them about that. So, but yeah, it is great. And
I'm so loopy.
Those are, when the Dodgers in the World Series, you got the background of Pat Sajak, Vanna White, whoever else is back there, and when it gets to the Rangers, the Astros have had the older President Bush, whoever's back there, and you let the Rangers get to the World Series, and you've got some freaking Banana Kids back there in the backdrop. Like, at some point, I saw the Banana Kids, and I saw Adrian Beltre. Like, he wasn't beside him, but it was in the same picture. He was beside him. I'm like, I don't know where we're going with this, but this is just amazing, and it's a great shot at the Rangers. Like,
it's a clown world, man. And it's a franchise that acts like it hasn't been there, and they haven't. And they have 12 years ago, but man, it's such a front running town. It drives me insane. But this is the team I'm behind. And yes, maybe they do win another game. But I'm looking at Fox 4. I just searched Banana Kids, and Fox 4 in Dallas doesn't really say too much, but I do see a couple of tweets as they were trying to distract Merrill Kelly, and some on the Twitterverse were saying, "Can we please get someone to get those banana costumes off those boys?" Such distractions. Others supported the attempts to help the team. So there was a single one in the same suite for Game 4 in the Astros, and then that. Okay, all right. Can I move on? Will you let me stop talking about the Banana Kids? All right, where are we at here? Contribute some comments. We've had a few folks file in already. Essentially, the scoring went like this: 9-1. The Diamondbacks beat the Rangers, but it was all D-backs as they got a 2-run fourth inning, a solo homer from Gabriel Moreno in the fourth inning, and then Gurriel singles on a line drive that scored Tommy Pham. Rangers cut that deficit in half. The really interesting part of the game in the bottom of the fifth when Mitch, Manafana Fitch. Hey, there's bananas again. He got a homer, rocketed out to left field to make it 2-1, and it stayed like that until the seventh, and they'd scored the last 7 runs of the game. Longoria got in on the RBI action. Corbin Carroll got an RBI single. Ketel Marte. Then Carroll got another RBI, and then Emmanuel Rivera had a little dink RBI ground out that had the final scoring of that game. Yeah, outside of the fifth, I mean, even when it was 2-1, now I'm lying because I was saying, Self, this doesn't feel like it's too close of a game. It's that playing from behind thing, and like they had the comeback last night. You can't play with that fire too much, where they just got behind and they needed the heroics from Seager and they needed the heroics from Garcia, and they just didn't get that punch. They're just playing catch up, and they fell flat. They couldn't get it done. And their best pitcher that really won them those first 2 series, of course, Evaldi did something too, but Montgomery has not looked his last 2 starts as stellar as he did his first 3 or 4. So their best pitcher didn't pitch well, and you got to tip your cap, though, to Kelly on the D-back side. He was tremendous as he went 7 innings of 1-run ball, 9 strikeouts, no walks. Another thing I jotted down, Joshua, 14 strikeouts by the Rangers staff yesterday in Game 1, and they didn't get their first strikeout until the 8th tonight. So that all adds up to a big, big banana loss for the Rangers.
When you went back and you were were you watching the TV broadcast, or do you have it synced up with Nadell? Or
I started about an hour late. I was able to zip through. By the way, World Series, thumbs up, a good pace there. But even I was like, man, this game's moving pretty fast. But yeah, I was able to sync it up in there till about the 7th, 8th inning when I caught up with you.
Okay. On the TV broadcast, they were pointing out that Montgomery threw like 4 innings. I think through 4 innings, he had no swings and misses, and maybe 2 through the first 5 or 6 innings. And they also pointed out that his velocity was down 2 miles an hour, like across the board on everything. So yeah, there is something to that, and a lot of that is it's what you got to do. Bochy, I'm not bashing Bochy because he's doing what he's got to do, and it's worked to perfection. Because that's how I got past the Astros. But you get these guys that are used to their routines. They're used to going once every 5 days, and you put them. They're going once, and then they're going out, throwing out of the bullpen in Game 7 of the last series, and then they're coming back after that. So they're just not used to it. I mean, you got to do, but at the same time, you've got that lingering effect where you have to kind of accept what it is. And Montgomery wasn't bad all night. Like, he fought through it and was there right through it. But at the same time, I think that's what goes along with it is you have to take a momentary. They're not going to be quite what they were if you advance. which I don't think he was tonight. And at the same time, I think the Diamondbacks are such a different lineup than the Astros. Like the Astros bash some fastballs, and the Diamondbacks, I don't watch enough of them to know exactly what they do, but they seem like they're more patient, wait for breaking balls. Montgomery's going to throw 90, throw the 85 miles an hour off speeds or whatever. And so I think that had more to do with it than anything. But at the same time, he was pretty good, and I think that Bochy had to stay with him longer than he probably would have preferred, because last night they went to more of the bullpen than they were probably expecting, going 11 innings, and it worked out for them because they got the win. So I'm sure Bochy would love to avoid using Montgomery at any point in Arizona, getting back on the 5 days rest and starting in Game 6. But
it was good.
Sorry about that.
Where'd that come from?
That's Bruce Bochy. As apparently I can play it, but you want to hear some of him? He was talking about Montgomery. This is on Bally Sports. Bruce, the Bochy man, talking about Montgomery, saying he was happy with him and his pitch count on the Texas Porch.
Regular rest for Jordan, but how do you feel like the relief outing might have taken him out of his routine, if at all?
Yeah, you know what? He was pitching well. I mean, here he was in the seventh. Pitch count was good. Had a 1-run ball game. Gave up the double, and then the ground ball just got through. It looked like just got by Josh there. But to answer your question, that's always a hard one to answer. But he felt good. He was in a good place as far as pitch count, like I said. So I don't know how much it affected him, but he's not saying it did.
Yeah, 6 innings pitch and 9 hits. He certainly didn't get rocked by any definition, but just thought that was perfect timing to get that on there. Like that instant reaction. Hey, because it's an instant reaction podcast there, but just scanning through some of the other final notes. Oh, yeah, I did see what was on the had this other screen open here with the box score. Mentioned some of the other downer stats, but looking at the Rangers side of things, Simeon, 194 hitter in the postseason. He continues to labor. He was 1 for 4. Seager, you can't complain with what he's done, but he goes 0 for 4. Carter 1 for 3. And with the top 4 in the lineup, when they go 2 for 12, or even worse, 2 for 14, that doesn't win you a lot of games in that top of the order. But yeah, the Diamondbacks got their offense going and just could not be stopped there when they get things moving. When you look at it neutrally, like I don't think I finished that thought earlier, they're a very fun team to play. It's Montgomery's first loss of the postseason. And even I said this last night to your boy Mitch, that you got Eovaldi, who did not pitch his best. He had his worst postseason start in a long time, but they still won. And now it's like, man, Montgomery pitched like this. Gets back to the very first thought of the day. Like, you never think you're going to win again after a loss. You got Scherzer going against Fat in Game 3. Fat, is that how he's saying it? Fat?
I actually looked this up tonight because I'm like, I don't want to call him Fat.
Fad.
It's pronounced Fought. Like
Fought. That's right. Yeah. I even heard them talking about it on the audio side of things. So you already know my thoughts on Scherzer, what he's going to maybe give him. I mean, Game 7 was like, okay. But then it took Montgomery coming in there to bridge things and get it to a suddenly reliable bullpen there. So I don't know. 9-1 is about like it felt. The Rangers lost, and it was just that type of day. Give us any thoughts if anybody's out there wants to rattle off a mild sports opinion or two. Be glad to hear it. You have any others that come to mind, or anything that I said you definitely agree with, or I said that you think is the dumbest thing I've ever said, and that's saying a lot?
Well, Scherzer, like going Game 3, I hate to build you up and then bring you back down, but it's obvious that Bochy has no confidence in Scherzer because he pulled him early in the third inning of the game they were killing the Astros in. Like, he knew he didn't want that to slip away early. So it's obvious he's got no confidence in him. They're just hoping he can go out there and do something. But going that, and game 4 is pretty much a bullpen game, right?
Yeah, because I don't think you bring Gray back. Bochy said before he was probably going to lean away from Gray in tonight's game, which he didn't need to even have that as an option. Our boy Dunning, you bring Dunning back. He got in the pin tonight, but do you piggyback Dunning, Gray? I mean, Haney gave you a big bag of nothing tonight. No, not you. He gave.
I don't know. Just there's max over under. I just don't. I don't know where they go games 3 and 4. Like, I remember when the Astros lost the first 2 games of the Rangers. I was like, not good, but at the same time, things get wild, and the Astros could easily bash those 2 pitchers that were coming up, and they did. For the Diamondbacks don't have the lineup the Astros do, but they can be pesky. So,
Yes.
Like, I would, if you're a Ranger fan, I think you hope that they split games 3 and 4, and you get back to 5 and 6 with your top 2 pitchers, and think they'll be okay. Like, neither one were good this time, but there are bad outings, and I do think that Montgomery tonight had a lot to do with going in relief. Bochy said it wasn't about that. He said it wasn't that, but a starting pitcher that's worth anything, they're never going to admit and come out and say, yeah, he shouldn't have pitched me in the other game. So, yeah, if they can go out there and split a couple games, the first 2 games there, then it puts them in a position where you get Yoaldi back out there, who's been good in the playoffs, really good in the playoffs. I don't think you should put too much stock into him not being great last night, because he was still all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch some of that later. So, yeah, you want to try to get that to game 5. Obviously, you'd love to get that there at 3-1, but if you get there 2-2, you're going back to Arlington, and you still kind of have to like your chances when you have your top 2 starters going in games 5 and 6. And the Diamondbacks pitcher thought he was really good, put away the Phillies in the last series, but all year he's a 5 ERA guy. Like, he's not somebody that you go out there and say, oh man, this guy's going to really, really take us down, especially a good lineup like the Rangers have. So it's not time to press the panic button yet. But yeah, they need to. I know you're ready to push the panic button.
Please, can I?
You're allowed. Like, I'm just saying, I wouldn't yet if I were a Ranger fan, but maybe I would.
Panic button right there. I'm hitting it. Okay, I'll push it.
I was gonna say you need a sounder for a panic button.
Here's Vicky Doug says Max over under 2 innings pitched. I take the over on that. I think you'll give him something. I think you get 4, like 5 or 6, but I think realistically you could expect 4. Indeed, Bethel Man is indeed the way the great Wash said. It is the way baseball go, and Bethel adds. Yeah, they are really good, even though they're the 6th seed up over in that National League, in the American League in Texas. He still thinks the Rangers in 6. I have amended that for those of y'all that just popped on. I said Rangers in 7, if that. I didn't feel like they could win another game, but I need to be positive. I need to float out that positive energy, but you're getting low sleep, long work day, rattled voice, PJ Health here. So I've got to pay off on the tease, what I talked about. You contribute because you were listening live. So with the day job work down at Rice, and it was Hall of Fame induction weekend, and a huge crop of Rice legends inducted in the Hall of Fame. They only have it every couple of years. And it would just so happen that Anthony Rendon, third baseman for the Angels, and I don't know if you knew this, Josh, but he was third baseman in 2019 for the Washington Nationals, teammate of Max Scherzer. And who are they playing that series? Oh, yeah, they're playing the Astros. So Rendon and I don't want to say we go way back because we're not buddies or anything, but my first year of broadcasting Rice baseball was his first year as a freshman All-American. And the next year, he was a National College Player of the Year. And as cool a dude and as good a dude as there is. He is so laid back and a great guy and obviously a great player, Gold Glove winner over there. But you take the rest of the story from there. As we're interviewing him on the sideline, they put the headsets. He was on the sideline, and I was in the booth talking to him.
Okay, well, I'm listening. Nobody cares about my Saturday afternoon experience, but usually I have the Longhorns on TV if they're playing along with Rice while I'm listening to your game. And today was that exact scenario. And I hear Anthony Rendon, your sideline guy, he is doing an interview with Rendon.
Yeah, Anthony Rendon is not my sideline guy. That would be a good get, but $30 million a year, he doesn't need the money.
That'd be awesome. But while there, at some point you get to ask Rendon a question, and at the end of the interview, he says something like, "Man, I missed hearing your voice." And so I hear that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to be around JP for a while. Like, he's got a former stud third baseman.
Former? What are you talking about? He's a legend. He's still a legend.
But at the same time, I'll leave that one alone. But I was like, yeah, I've never heard the end of this one, that there is a great third baseman in the pros that says he misses hearing JP's voice. And so I'm like, I bet you had to hear that. I bet you clipped that sound, and it might be your intro to this from now on. Like,
yeah, I've got that. I've also got to do some production work. I've got Dan Patrick not talking to me personally, but he's got a clip to a caller, JP. And then I've got Nate Dell, my all-time favorite announcer, everything, saying, talking about JP, who was the right fielder that came up midway, went right back down. Anyway, he said, he goes by JP. It's easier that way. So I've got some JP quotes I need to edit in. So we're overtime here. When you go overtime, you got to pay the podcast man and woman. So the other interesting thing that happened to me today, we go through our pregame routines, and all right, yeah, back to the actual baseball talk. Mad Max. I don't think that's an authorized nickname, Bethel. Crazy Eyes. I think it's a condition. But yeah, I say 5 to 6, hopefully. Crazy Eyes.
You're going to be lucky with 4.
I would take that right now if you guaranteed me. So the other cool thing to wrap it up here is it's obviously a football game. And Brock Osweiler, former Broncos and Texans quarterback. And who else did he play for? I also had it looked up here. He also played for the Dolphins. Yeah, he played 5 years in the NFL. He's big, man. He's like 6'7". He could be a good 6'8". Because I was looking up to him, and I'm a big old Texas kid. But I talked to him for like 15 minutes before the game, like just telling him some odds and ends on the day job team, and could not have been nicer, could not have been cooler. And then it kind of dawned on me, oh yeah, he played for the Texans too. But I thought of him as a Bronco, but talked to him. And so yeah, I had a Major League Baseball third baseman say he missed my voice. And then I chatted it up with Brock Osweiler, and Rangers took a big sledgehammer and got to curl up now. It's been a long day. Gonna curl up and go to sleep, Josh.
It's all in all a good day. See, my team wasn't playing in the World Series this year, but I didn't get a shout out from a third base all-star in the majors. I didn't talk to a pro football player that's famous for running out of the back of the end zone.
I thought that was Dan Orlovsky that did that. Did he do it too?
You are correct. I'm totally wrong. So there, I had my Mitch moment of Tulsa. So I got to.
Okay.
That is great.
Well, I'm the one that hasn't slept. So
I have no idea how to mix those two up.
All right, Joshua. Appreciate you, man.
Okay. Well, it's not over yet, JP. You can sleep okay. I think you're going to sleep okay, considering you've probably been up all day and we were texting like 2:30 in the morning yesterday. So I think it'll be all right. Don't start panicking until they're down 3-1.
Okay.
If they're down 3-1, then feel free to hit that panic button because they're not coming back from that. But until then, you're okay.
Yeah, Bethel says no time to panic either. Can I please panic at 2-1 if they win the first game in Arizona with 2 games after that to follow? Can I please panic then? I'll let you be the panic police.
You can panic whenever you want. I'm just saying.
Okay.
There was a certain Texas baseball team that lost the game on the road to go down 2-1 last year, and it turned out okay for that team. So there's not a long history you have to look back for to say that it can be okay if you lose game 3.
Yeah. Who invited you on the podcast anyway? My gosh. All right, man. Have a good one. I have no Cowboys watching tomorrow because the Texans are playing their typical noon start. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just skip it. I might go all radio since we're pretty baseball intensive the next week on the shows. I'm going to go all radio for the Cowboys coming up, but we can talk about that later. And no, I have to explain it to Josh every time. I can't use his password because it's regional. They are following you. The AI overlords know where you are. But
I'm worried. I'm worried because my guide says I'm not getting the Cowboys tomorrow, so we could be in the same boat. But I think we'll be okay. I think, yeah.
People want to watch the Texans over the Cowboys. That's cute. How cute.
You can go ahead and push the panic button on the Cowboys, but
Oh, yeah. That was done. Start of the season. All right, man. Do have to go. See you, man.
See ya.
Happy Sunday to all of those coming up, too. Thanks, Josh. I'm JP. Thanks to all for viewing and watching. And if you're on the right now, you can subscribe on the Texas Porch podcast, wherever you get your pods, and subscribe on our YouTube channel and like, share this video. That helps out with the AI overlords. Have a great rest of this day or night. God bless you. God bless Texas. We will talk to you. Got to get dressed here again. We'll talk to you next time out here on the Texas Porch. Rangers ever in 7?
Rangers in 5.